Hi, we are the Ellers, and we're the authors of the book Widowed and Moving Forward that's coming out on September 22nd. And today in this video, we have a special guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to us.
Hi, I'm Noel. I've been married for 2 years now. I graduated in public health with my bachelor's, and I just finished dental assisting school. And my mom passed away when I was 17, going into senior year in 2015.
Okay, so still in high school, kind of made you grow up a little faster than you wanted to.
Yes.
What were some of the things that you did to cope when your mom passed away?
I kept myself surrounded by friends. I tried to focus on having a fun senior year because it's supposed to be fun, and I tried not to let everything that happened weigh me down. So I hung out with friends, and I focused on college and getting ready for that and taking the ACT, doing all my applications, and I also took care of my siblings, just so my mom could know that they were okay, even though my dad obviously was the main caretaker. I tried to help.
I put in the effort, but you did a good job.
Yeah, and I just took it a day at a time, I guess.
Okay, so for this book, we wanted to have some perspective from the kids, and Noel did an entry in the book that was it's kind of comes later in the book, and it's how do you grow together? Would you like to talk about your entry?
Yeah, so I wrote about getting married and basically just how I felt not having my mom there to help get my wedding ready and to watch me get married, and on the other end, how much of a blessing it was to have somebody to take her place to help me with everything and still make it an amazing day. And I wrote about how I could still feel my mom with me even though she wasn't physically there. And I wrote another part about our first real trip together as a blended family, and just how weird it was, but how cool it was to see everybody interacting in one setting, and just officially as a family.
So let's reverse a little bit. When Jen and I started dating, you were in college. So you left for college, and within, about 6 months, you started dating?
Yeah. December.
How did you feel about that?
I felt out of the loop. I wasn't home, so I was like, what is happening back there? I'm all the way over here, and all this new stuff is going on that I have no idea
What's happening?
Yeah. I remember my dad sending me texts from this lady in Utah from the widow's Facebook page, and he was like, hey, so I've been talking to this lady, and I want to know what you think about our messages. And it was just a bunch of flirting, and I was like, what is going on? But I thought it was cool, but I was like angry because I was like, why is he doing all this without, I guess, my approval, even though he doesn't need it?
And at this point, it had just barely been over a year that your mom had passed away.
Yeah, so I felt like it was quick. I was like, why is he already forgetting what happened? Like, he's moving on so fast.
Yeah. So obviously dating can lead to remarriage. How did you feel when you found out that we were going to get engaged?
Again, I felt angry because I was like, I don't know, like I just felt like this should have never happened to me. Like I should just have my family that I was born into, and that should be it. Like I should grow up with them, and I shouldn't have all of this change happen. Like my parents didn't get divorced, so why is this happening? It's not supposed to be this way, sort of thing. But I was also on the other end happy because I had seen how lonely my dad had become while I was in college. Even though he had my siblings, he needed somebody to talk to that was his age and some companionship. So
That's nice. That's true. So you are the oldest, and you have spent the least amount of time at home with the entire family, the step siblings and step parent, biological parent. I think you lived with us for 4 weeks before you went back to school. At that time, how were you feeling about your step relationships, and how did it feel to know that we were moving in with another family?
It was weird because we weren't just moving in with another family, we were moving to a different state. So when we moved, I felt like a visitor at their house. I didn't have a room because I wasn't going to be there for that long, so I slept in the office on a mattress. And I didn't have any friends because we didn't grow up in Utah, and I wasn't going to high school, so I didn't have a way to go make friends. I just kind of had to stick it out until I went to college, and so I felt pretty lonely, but I tried to focus on getting to know my new family and I guess just see how it would be when I was gone. So
Probably some concerns, fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're married. You've been married for 2 years. Just had your anniversary recently. So with spouses that are not part of a blended family, their background is different. Your husband hasn't lost a parent, doesn't know what that's like, and he comes and there are so many different personalities with our 7 kids. How does he feel about it? Does he ever talk to you about it?
He has 8 siblings, so he's kind of used to craziness and different personalities clashing, but he thinks it's interesting to see the Ellers and the Wintertons. Even though we're all one family, we're very different people. We get along really well, but he thinks it's really interesting how different we are at the same time and how it all works. But he really likes it. He likes getting to know everyone, and he thinks of my step siblings as just siblings. Like my stepbrother is his brother-in-law. He doesn't think any different. So
okay, so if there's somebody your age or younger even that's going through a blended process, what would your advice be to them?
I think that the number one thing you should remember is that it's not going to be easy, especially if you have older kids. I think younger kids, it's a lot easier to blend because they're with each other all the time. And if you have older kids, they all kind of have their own lives, so it might take a little bit longer.
Harder to get everybody together.
Yeah.
For sure.
And just in general, just realize that it's going to be full of challenge, but don't try to stay away from trying to blend. Like, give everyone a chance and don't just take it as like this thing that sucks and that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
Well, they say with older kids that on average it takes about 7 years for a family to really feel like they've come together. We've been at it for over 3 years. How do you feel it's going?
I feel like it gets better over time. Like, even though some of us don't live with you guys, the fact that we're so close makes it awesome because we can come at least once a week and keep building our relationships, and we've taken more trips as a family, so that's helped a lot too, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, thanks for being with us, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, we appreciate it all, and we love you.
Love you guys.